Yes, welcome to our income tax class. This is problem 30 taken from Gaur and Naran. We are given with the various informations, and this problem is very apt one for essay type question section C, right? Then first information is salary, which is 48,000 per month. So for the year 5,76,000. Then DA is given as DASB. That means it enters into service benefit. So we have to take the DA per month is 10,000. Total amount comes to 1,20,000. CCA is given, that is a city compensatory allowance. You know very well, you are all aware that city compensatory allowance is fully taxable allowance. That comes to 9,600. And another one is entertainment allowance. When we are given with the entertainment allowance, immediately you should refer the condition that the entertainment allowance is a taxable one. However, for government employees, they can claim the deduction. Whereas in this, nothing is stated. So that entertainment allowance of 12,000 is taken. Then commission on turnover is 24,000. It is also, you please put a mark on that. Commission on turnover is considered for some calculations, that is for house rent allowance, rent free, not RPF. For those things we have to take that commission on turnover. Then another one important point is medical bills reimbursement is 12,000. Please put a mark on that. Already I explained, for medical bills reimbursement, if the treatment is taken in government hospital, then that amount of reimbursement is exempted. Whereas in this case, it is specifically given medical bills reimbursed by the company, treatment taken from a private hospital. So the amount of reimbursement is taxable, right? Once again I am repeating, if the medical bill is reimbursed, it is taxable if the treatment is taken in private hospital. Whereas if it is taken in government hospital, that amount is exempted. Okay. Then professional tax paid by the employer. In this also you should put a mark on that, because that professional bills paid by the employer. Since it is paid by the employer, so it is first we should take it as a taxable, then we can claim it as deduction under section 16(3) for deduction from the total salary, gross salary, right? So always, if any of our payments paid by obligations met by the employer, first it should be taken as income, and particularly for professional tax, finally we are to take it as take the same amount as the deduction under section 16(3). Then next item is employer contribution to RPF, right? Recognized Provident Fund. You know very well, for recognized Provident Fund, in excess of 12% of salary is taxable. Then what is salary? Basic salary, dearness allowance, service benefit, if it is given as service benefit. In this question it is given as service benefit, so we are taking. Whether it is a service benefit or retirement benefit or pay benefit, whatever the name called, if it is given like that, then we should take it as the amount for all the workings. Okay, that 1,20,000 of DASB should also be taken here. Then third one item is commission on turnover, that should also be considered for salary for the purpose of RPF, recognized provident fund. Mind it carefully. Recognized provident fund is different, rent free accommodation is different, house rent allowance is totally different. Okay, don't get confused. And for recognized provident fund, 12% on the total value of that salary, that is salary for the purpose of RPF, that comes to 7,20,000. 12% on that 7,20,000 is 86,400. That should be taken as exemption, because in the question it is given as for RPF that amount is 90,000. On that it is exempted up to 12%. So we have to take 86,400. So 90 minus 86,400, balance is taxable. Okay. Then another point here is that car perquisite. Previous cases we discussed car perquisite with 1.3 liter capacity. That 1.3 liter capacity or 1.8 liter capacity in this problem. That one is, it is based on the piston level. Okay. So that car perquisite here it is given as 1.8 liter capacity. It is taken as a big type car. 2400 per month is taxable. Okay, since it is a 1.8 liter capacity, we have to take 2400 into 12. Okay, that we have to take 28,800. Then driver salary is also given in this question. So we should take it as that amount of a driver salary is 900 rupees. Please have a look on that question. See, 1.8 liter capacity, which is partly used for personal and partly for employment purpose. During the year, company incurred 24,000 on maintenance of a car. Normal depreciation 30,000. Driver salary is 12,000. These informations are immaterial. When we are given with 1.8 liter capacity, we have to take that 2400 per month is taxable, and driver salary is given, then 900 rupees per month is considered. Okay, so that comes to 39,600. What the amount of depreciation, what the amount of driver salary the assessee is paying, what are all the maintenance charges or wear and tear charges incurred, those informations are immaterial. If the car is used by personal purpose and employment purpose, if under that case we have to take 2400 per month and driver salary 900 rupees per month is considered, and traveling allowance it is taxable. What the amount of expenses incurred, it is not given. Daily allowances, that is also taxable. Amount expended is not given, right? Then another important point here is rent free accommodation. What is that rent free accommodation? Here the rent free accommodation is provided as rent free accommodation of a building furnished, for which company pays a municipal tax 60,000 per annum, and furniture value is 1,20,000. See, in this also, what the municipal tax given for that, that is immaterial for this chapter. Municipal tax, treatment of municipal tax, that considered in next heading, which is another chapter called income from house property. In this case, where accommodation is provided, what is the level of population, only that we have to consider. Here, where the accommodation is provided, the accommodation is above 40 lakhs. Okay, that accommodation is above 40 lakhs. So we have to take that accommodation, it is considered as above 40 lakhs. Okay, actually in question it is given as 35 lakhs, but I solved that it is above 40 lakhs. So that amount of correct, I have taken it in a correct way, that population level is less than 40 lakhs, that is 35 lakhs. So 7.5% of the salary is taxable. Accordingly we have to take. Then furniture is also given in this question. So the furniture value is 1,20,000. So 10% of cost value we have to consider. So total amount of salary taken for rent free accommodation. Basic salary, CCA is fully taxable, and commission on turnover is taxable. Other taxable allowances are traveling, daily expenses, allowances. So total value for the purpose of a rent free accommodation, that comes to 6,49,600. On that 7.5% we have to take now, plus 10% on the cost of furniture is 10% on 1,20,000. that we have to take 12,000. Okay, so 48,720 plus 12,000, that is 60,720. So that is the gross salary. Total amount of gross salary that comes to 8,87,520. And in this case, all the associates are eligible for section 16(1) standard deduction, that comes to 50,000. And another one is a professional tax is given, though it is paid by the employer. Already I explained that condition. If it is paid by the employer, then we have to take that, first we have to take that amount as the perquisite income. Then we have to claim that amount as the deduction under section 16(3). Okay, net salary that comes to 8,35,520, right? And another one is, see, in this question you should consider most important point. In the question we are given with, it is solved based on, try the problem with the new tax regime. If it is new tax regime, certain allowances are not considered. It is that those things are not considered, and deductions are also not considered. That is section 16(3) is also not applicable. But as far as that, since I have not taught you that new tax regime, I have solved the problem under old tax regime only. That is why I have taken travelling allowance 16,000 is taxable, daily allowance of 12,000 is taxable, and professional tax is also taken as, first it is a income, then since it is paid by the employer, so first it is a income, then next I have taken that professional tax under section 16(3) as deduction. Okay, so in this way we have to follow this. And as far as rent-free accommodation is concerned, you please see to that based on the population. Since it is given as 35 lakh population, we are taking 7.5% as 7.5% on salary is taken, taxable. Then furniture is provided 10% on own furniture. It is given as furniture, own furniture 1,20,000. So 10% on that is taxable. Okay, you please try related problems on this.